20.
I am kind of at a disadvantage. I lost my book. I found it yesterday. However, one thing that I did not find in my mess at home are some workbooks. I will have them next week, because this will continue next week. We are going to continue with this anyway. Effective listening. Everybody hears. You hear what people say, but how well do you listen? There is a difference between listening and hearing. Do you know that a person can give a 10-minute speech? And half the audience, or you will remember about half of that speech. But 2 days later, you may only remember a quarter of it. Are you engaged in listening? Do you know what's going on? We're going to have a little workshop. I want you to break into groups of 3. I don't care who you sit with, how you do it, but groups of 3. If you could do that now.
1, 2, 3. Yeah. Okay.
Or no, okay, 1, 2, 3.
Yes. Yes, I think you'll be. We're missing one. We're listening.
You two, I'm not sure how this is going to work. Maybe I will join you.
Okay. Will be good.
Okay. Pick one person to be person A.
Mary. Mary.
A is the speaker. One person to be B. You are the listener.
Would you like to be?
And one person to be C, it's the remaining person, of course. And you are the observer. The speaker will pick from one of these 5 subjects and give a 2-minute table topic. Can you read that?
Barely.
You need to pull it forward a little bit.
Or read it to us.
There we go.
Yeah, maybe
Much
read it.
better.
Describe your life as a shoe. What is your most embarrassing phobia? Describe a scene as a news reporter. If you could go back in time and talk to yourself, what advice would you give yourself? Or if you could be any age again for 1 week, what age and why? Now, as I said, the speaker will give a 2-minute table topic on one of those subjects. The listener will listen to what is said and summarize what the speaker says. The observer will take note as to whether or not the listener has make sure that the listener does not omit, distort, add to, or respond to what the speaker has said. So the observer has to pay attention to what the listener says and make sure that they don't add, subtract, distort, or respond to what the listener said. Okay, we have 10 minutes to get all this done, and we all do it at the same time. You give your speeches in your groups. And yes. groups. And then the observer will tell what he feels, he or she feels. So, let's start. 10 minutes.
You can
I'm
send
right
it.
on time always.
Love it. Maybe
Okay,
send it to
observers.
Yes.
Did the listener summarize what the speaker said?
In our case, yes, he did. Good job.
60% of the time.
60 to 80%.
Can I tell our whole thing? Can I summarize our scenario or just answer the question?
Just answer the question.
Did, because I have more to say. It was so
We're not
interesting
listening.
to me.
Okay.
What was interesting to me is that our story was fact, 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 fact. And the story came back with the facts in it, but Katerina added emotion. She added 3 emotions of how the shoe felt that really weren't in the story.
So she added 2,
Her feelings.
She added feelings. She added to the story
and she wasn't supposed to.
but it was interesting that she picked up on his cues of the fact,
So she
but
heard.
heard with emotion. It was a very interesting exercise, thank you.
You're welcome. How about over here?
Yes. Deb did an amazing job. She started out with the sentence, "If I'm hearing you correctly." She took notes. I did not notice her interject any kind of information that wasn't originally stated in the topic that we selected, that Mary selected about, your past self, giving advice to your past self. She did a great job. The only thing that she said was hindsight. She used one word that wasn't part of what Mary was talking about. She did a great summary.
So the neural today is go out and.
Yes, Joe summarized Vern's speech and did quite well. It was a phobia of tunnels. And he went down line by line, covering the items that Vern covered.
Okay. And Dave talked about, he was a reporter, and he talked about a scene he was at, and it was about Hurricane Andrew. And Rudy was the listener, and he also took notes and went through and summarized what he said. Did not add to it. So it matters whether you're listening or hearing. Now, in this exercise, everybody concentrated on listening, which is a good thing. Don't you think? How often, I can tell you, in my household, this happens 99% of the time. How often is your spouse or significant other talking to you and you're nodding your head, agreeing, whatever, but you're not listening to what they're saying?
Doesn't happen on here.
I will give you an example. Last night,
That's my wife.
Jill came home. News was on, of course, with the election reports. I'm trying to study this. And he comes in and he starts on going like this about what they're saying on TV. And I'm going, trying to concentrate on this. And he knows that I'm trying to do this. So instead of saying, would you just shut up? I took my stuff, got up, and went into my bedroom where it was quiet, and I could concentrate. We have a habit of doing that to our families, just hearing and not listening. Is that fair to them? Is it fair when that happens in Toastmasters, when somebody is giving a speech? Are you really listening to the speech, or are you hearing what they're saying and your mind's on things you have to do at work? Or if you're not working, things you have to do at home? I'm guilty. I'll admit it. Because my life sometimes is so in a turmoil that half the time I only hear but I don't listen. When I'm at work, I do work 3 days a week. When I'm at work, I have to listen to what my boss says. Because I could get run over. I work at an auction house for cars. And there's times when I'm out doing what they do call a safety audit. To make sure the drivers are wearing their seat belts, they're not playing with the radios or their cell phones, they're not driving over the speed limit, they're leaving plenty of room between vehicles. But if they're going over what their posted speed is, and I'm not paying attention, and they're not paying attention, they're going to hit me, even if I wear my orange vest. But I also have to help him pay the bills. So I have to concentrate on that and make sure that everything's right on that. So I have to listen to what he says. And listen, not just hear. And I know that there are times that people just want to tune out what's going on around them at work because it can be a distraction. But if it's something important, you have to hear. You have to be willing to hear. And in every situation, there is a sender and a receiver. The person talking is the sender. You are the receiver. Are you a good receiver? Are you really listening to what they're saying? Or are you saying, I don't need this. Thank you. I don't need this because I'll catch it later. At this point, I'm going to stop this presentation. Because the next one, I want you to have your notebooks. And they will be here next week, I promise. I hope everybody hears. Because I think in the long run, this is going to help everybody. I know that just going through it and studying it is helping me because I'm learning that I'm a terrible person. I don't listen. Thank you.